You can't do that.
Just did it.
You can't.
I just did it.
If I ever said start over, we could
Honey,
edit that
I don't
out.
know how many times
I always get,
we've
no,
started.
we're not.
I don't know how many times we've started this dope-ass podcast. And you're like, no, you can start over.
No.
Bethany and Sean. We are a couple of nuts talking.
And you just started over, and I was ready to go on a roll.
I don't know. Aren't you?
Just
What
so
happened?
you guys
what
know,
changed in 3
before
seconds?
every ep, I have to hear some new rule that Sean decides is on the table.
You're damn right.
And I just sing a song called Rules Are Made to Be Broken. Rules are made to break.
I'm about to break. You want to know something?
What?
I just actually was thinking about this because I recorded a live performance of Linkin Park on the TV the other day, and I was watching it, and I was never a fan of Linkin Park until that singer killed himself.
Chester.
Is that
Agreed.
dark? Is that fucked up?
No, we had this conversation. I felt the same way. It was like both of us were like, I would have never listened to this song.
Now I
And-
like to like decode. Now it's like, I mean, it sucks that he
Can
that
I
he
just
killed
tell you
himself.
too? I also adore Chester.
Yeah.
I always have. I'll watch his interviews. I just wasn't really into the songs, and I think it's because of is this Choda? What's
I
his
bleed
name?
it out. It'll knock it.
Shinoda. What's
Mike
the other
Shinoda.
Shinoda. I don't know what it is, but I
Because he goes like one thing. I don't know why. It's because he raps, or
don't know.
well, yeah. After listening, actually, quick little story with Linkin Park. I was in a band, and the singer in the band,
Living back in the past.
and the singer in the band, his aunt was married to Mike Shinoda. So they weren't Linkin Park at first. They were called Hybrid Theory, which ended up being the name of their first album. But they were called Hybrid Theory, and they used to hand out their demos at our shows. Like they'd be standing outside
wow,
their Chester
that's a
and
dick
Mike.
move.
Right? That's what every band did in LA. That's what every band did. It'd be people waiting outside with flyers or their band CDs. We've had like a similar sound, and we were a metal band, and they were a little heavier at the time. No, I guess that first time. But yeah, they used to hang out outside of our shows, and I had some of those Hybrid Theory CDs, and I remember selling one on eBay because it's a demo. It's a Linkin Park demo. And back in the day,
How much did you sell it for?
I sold it for $150.
Yes, son.
It was a 6-song demo, and keep in mind I sold it like
20 years
Yeah, he
ago.
just
or
kept
something
it.
like that.
however much $150 is today. That's whatever.
Probably like how many years ago?
Like I just said.
Like 220. I feel like-
20 years ago.
You know what? About a couple months ago, I would have said $200, but at this rate with everything, I would say you get like $250, $300.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, you get a couple 2-3 gallons of gas is what you're gonna get.
I'm making more money, but that's why I'm paying more for things, but that's okay because I'm making more money now.
Unbelievable.
But so I never was a fan, and now it's like I want to go back, and I have, and I want to decode. Like I want to listen to all his songs, and I want to hear
what, the pain?
the cries for help. I want to hear the pain. Is that fucked up?
No, I think that's why. I think it happens to both of us when somebody dies. Interestingly enough, though, as much as I fucking love David Bowie, like we literally have our drinks on David Bowie coasters on our podcast table.
Yeah.
Since he died, I have not listened to him. And I think it's because, look, I got chills. I think it's because I get sad for him. Like I get sad.
For Bowie?
Yeah, like Robin Williams. I love it. And you always want to watch his movies, which I would. He's everything. I love him so much. It is hard to watch his movies for me.
It is.
And
Me too.
because I love him so much. So Chester, I didn't really know.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that when he died, now I'm like if I hear it on the radio, I'll turn it up instead of turn it off.
Yeah. Those are banging songs.
They're fantastic.
Oh my God, I saw them live. You get a little braggadocious because that band I was
Oh
in.
boy, everything just sets up one of these.
Because that band I was in, we were on the verge of getting signed by this other band his guitarist.
Was Tommy in this band?
Yes, and
Huh.
and this band, Mudvayne, the guitarist
Yeah.
of this band, Mudvayne, signed us with his management. So they invited us to this show called, I think it was the Summer Sanitarium. It was Deftones,
Sounds hot.
Linkin Park, Metallica, and Mudvayne. So we got invited to the show.
It sounds crazy hot.
So that was cool. Good one, baby. And Linkin Park played. And I was there, I was like just a drunk idiot. So for the majority, I was just backstage or it was at a huge Coliseum, and I was just drinking. There was a Heineken tent there, so I was just drinking Heineken the whole time. But when Linkin Park went on, I went out to watch them, and man, they sounded perfect. It literally sounded like they hit play on a CD, and they added some beef to it. But I wasn't really paying attention. But now,
Do you know what I think I just figured out?
What?
They have a DJ, don't they?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they have
I
two.
think,
They have like two. The Mike Shinoda guy, he does DJ stuff too,
Yeah.
apparently.
So I think that my aversion was that. I think that no matter how hard they were, because I am, first of all, if you don't know, just a quick recap, 90s hard rock lover, that if I didn't see the band ever with the DJ part, I might have, and I don't want to say respect it more. I don't know. I just had an aversion to it. Like, it's like, what's that other band? Sugar Ray. It just brought me to that, where Sugar Ray used to be like super hard and
Yeah, their first two albums are hardcore albums.
Yeah.
Kind of thrashy, actually.
and then they went into Is It Over? And I was just like, what the hell?
I like
And you have
that stuff.
a DJ? No, let me clarify.
I like that stuff.
Today, for whatever reason, again, I will leave that shit on and be like,
Everybody knows a hell hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed.
So,
God, give me now, baby. Don't say a word. See,
So-
this DJ, he scratches. He actually scratches.
But did you just hear what I said? Right. At least he scratches and stuff. Maybe they do. And
I don't think
Linkin
the
Park.
Linkin Park DJ has turntables up there. He's more of like a synth beat programmer type guy. Maybe he does. I don't remember.
I don't know. But here's what also is happening, and let us know if this is happening to you too. But there was a lot of music when we were kids that now that I'm hearing it, I actually really get the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Where I didn't get them before. And I think that's what's giving me the like impetus to be like, oh, I'll listen to this out and see, because I'm kind of resonating or relating to this.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of just songs in general. Even if I don't like the lyrics, the music and stuff. Now, when I was younger, that I didn't care for it then. That I'm all about it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like it's done a 180, where now I'm finding the lyrics to be quite attractive, and I already like the sound, right?
Yeah.
On some of them, or the ones that I hated the sound, the lyrics are good.
Yeah,
for me.
like when I was growing up, I wasn't a fan of the song "Cumbersome" by Seven Mary Three.
Right.
I fucking love the song
Yeah.
"Cumbersome" by Seven Mary Three. You want to know why? Because I have become cumbersome in this world. What a fucking banger!
Really?
And
Seven
then
Mary 3.
There's one that I like that I don't think. I am barely breathing, and I can't find the air. I don't think you like that one. No, there was one that say tonight.
Oh,
At
God.
the break of dawn, gone tomorrow. You still don't like when I put that one
I
on.
don't like it. Who is that? Black Eyed Cherry?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's
Eagle Eye Cherry.
Dog's Eye View.
Dog's Eye View.
Yeah. Or wait, no, is that Eagle
Isn't
Eye
that
Cherry?
funny? Isn't that funny? They're all
Eagle Buck Cherry.
Back then, they're
Eye
all
Buck
3
Cherry.
words,
Yeah.
like third eye blind.
Jars of clay.
Jars of right, and it's got like usually an animal.
Deep blue something. And I
Right.
said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said,
I
now that's
get-
a fucking banger.
That I remember liking though back then.
You know, one night
But did you ever buy? I had to buy that album for the place where I worked when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And we had to listen to it all the time. The only song that's good on that album was that song.
That's
and
the
by
thing.
third listen, you're like, you better fucking turn that candy pansy ass shit off.
That's the thing. Like, how does that?
Is pansy bad nowadays? Is
No.
like 2021
No,
going to
no,
yell at me because I
no.
said a flower?
No. It's weird that they just didn't. I don't know if they didn't put that much effort into their songwriting, except for that one song, or how did that work?
So here's how it works. I'll tell you. Just with
you don't know how
I
it
definitely
works.
know how
Stop
it works. Are you fun? I was in the music business for how long? Here's what they do. They take a band that they signed and they put all the money and they buy the producer for that one song. Because back in the day, it was about buying the record, not
It's
a
about
single.
selling CDs.
So if the record label...
But they made CD singles and cassette tape singles.
But that was rare. That was rare. That like I've never bought a single.
Do you remember? Oh, I was going to say, do you remember one of the first singles that I bought was UB40's
Oh, Red Red Wine?
cover of Wise Men Say Only Fools Rush. I remember the cover was yellow, and it was in a movie called Sliver, this 90s movie with
yeah.
Sharon Stone and William Baldwin. It was a total fuck flick
Billy's.
that I probably shouldn't have been able to watch, but I did because we had a black box in my house growing up, so we had all the channels.
You had that
illegally had all the channels.
Isn't that what it's in an airplane too? The black box?
Yeah, I think so. But that's what we had, and that's one of the first singles I remember buying. UB40 Fools Rush In cover from the Sliver soundtrack. I bought that on a cassette single tape.
Nice.
And I used to fucking rock out to that shit.
I'm trying to think. I never did. I always bought albums just because I'm really supportive of artists and
It's
musicians.
the same thing. It's still it was still them. It's not like it was a bootleg or anything.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear all the artistry, not just the top 40. Not just the ones everyone's saying, okay.
Well, when you're 10 years old, you're not really thinking about stuff like that, babe. So
No, my mom was probably like, yeah, we're not buying any of that shit. My mom was not that into music. Like, unless we were cleaning house, we didn't have
Really?
music on, or it was a holiday.
Interesting.
I'm trying to remember, like in the car, my mom liked it quiet. So
Oh wow! Now my mom was a Beatles fiend, and she would crank that shit. She had Journey's greatest hits in the car. She had a ton of Paul McCartney solo shit in the car. Richard Marx's greatest hits in the
like
car.
Wings type shit,
Wings,
or
yeah,
just
anything
okay.
Paul.
Yeah.
She was all about, and whenever a Beatles song would come on the radio, she would, because she was a drummer. She was in the band in high school. She would fucking be banging on the steering wheel, turn up the volume. It was
See, you know what's funny? Remember having that conversation with my mom about the Beatles?
Yeah.
How my mom was such a like cool cat that she was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Everyone was into the Beatles, so it just wasn't my thing.
I was more into ABBA.
ABBA, yeah. And which is to me like at the time of those years, I feel like ABBA was more sophisticated as far as the intricacy of their music. Like listen to the changes.
They had more
and-
writers, so that makes sense. Whereas
Right.
the Beatles were just four guys,
Right.
just
I
writing
wanna hold your
crazy
hand,
shit.
and it's just over and over again.
That shit. See, that was the thing. That was my mom's favorite stuff. She liked the teeny bopper Beatles
I hate
stuff.
that stuff.
And when they got all experimental and started dropping acid, she still liked it, but didn't love it. And that's the stuff that I love, is the
Yeah,
later
me
stuff.
too.
And I like the earlier stuff too, but I really like their later catalogs.
You know how much I hate repetition. So I feel like any songs from 1960 and earlier, not all of them, but there's this like thing about just repeating the same thing over and over and
Oh, I'm
over.
okay with that.
I know you are. I can't stand it. But anyways,
like
back
that.
to my mom, that you cut me off again.
Cut you off.
I love that my mom like dissected why the Beatles just weren't her thing. And I love how she was like, look, I get it. They were four very,
They're cute boys.
playing songs, but that's not going to do it for me. That's not.
She needed more
I
stimulation.
needed more than that. Yeah. And I loved it. And she was like, everyone would just go crazy. And she's like, I look at them and just be like, ugh,
Really?
find a hobby.
Wow.
And I love that. And like,
That's funny.
it's obviously endured through the years with the Beatles because they're fucking amazing. But I do love that because it's kind of, by the way, what we were just talking about, how later on in life we got songs that we perhaps wouldn't have gotten or liked when we were younger.
Right.
You know, so my mom has a respect for the Beatles and she'll listen to it, but
Yeah.
you throw on ABBA and she's like, you know, or Blondie, Jesus Crimines.
Right.
Put on that and she's all over it.
Yeah.
Or by the way, Meatloaf.
Yeah.
You want to talk about my
He
mom?
was writing rock operas.
My mom is not swayed by the cute faces,
Yeah.
okay? Because who else did she loved Barry Manilow,
Oh, my mom too. That was one of her most favorites.
and that face is something else.
He's a weird looking
He's
dude.
a weird looking dude. She loved Eric Clapton, who's very handsome.
Well, back in the day, it was really just about the talent. It wasn't about the way you looked. Because if you
You
look
rarely saw them.
You look at these musicians, and they were the chicks. You know, they really dolled up, but the dudes were just like fucking look like dads.
My dad loved Kool and the Gang,
Yeah.
because he didn't even like listen. He also isn't a music person, but he's constantly singing. That's a bit of mine, but he is constantly singing, but he's never really listening to the radio, so he doesn't know any words to one song. But he bought my mom this, what are the small records called? 45s? Is that the small one, or is that
Yeah.
or 33s? Okay. He bought my mom
7-inch singles. 7-inch.
Okay, I don't know.
7-inchers.
Oh no, it would be the 45 because
That's the RPM that
right,
you. No, so it's a 7-inch.
right. So a 45 is smaller; it goes around more times.
7-inch.
Okay. Anyways, he bought my mom the Kool and the Gang single, Joanna, because my mom's name is Joanne.
Joannie.
Yeah, Joanna, I love.
That's Kool and the Gang?
you. Yeah, you're the one for me. I don't know the rest. But I had to listen to
That's
that
sweet. That's sweet of him.
shit so many times. I almost, when I was that little, thought my mom's name was Joanna. Like,
Aw.
honest, I was like, and my mom's like, it's Joannie. It's,
Right.
you know, with an E at the end. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. We were a very musical household. That's my dad got me into a lot of things. Oingo Boingo.
I just want to
Depeche
point
Mode,
something out.
The Cure.
You just burped, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't make it loud. So when you tell me
That
we're
one
in
wasn't
public.
loud. That one wasn't
no,
loud.
I saw what you did
That one
because I
wasn't
can
loud.
do it too.
No, there's different fucking burps.
No, there's not. You can control the back of the throat.
It's not true.
Yes, you can.
There's different kinds of burps. I'm
It's
telling
just
you.
like how you control your ass sphincter.
That one was a creeper. That one creeped up out of my
So
throat
you would
because we
think
just
that
took
you
all
would be
those
able to
vitamins.
control it even more.
When we're at the casino or something, it's from drinking Pepsi or eating some barbecue or something like that, and they come shooting out of me. There's a big difference.
No, I watch you concave your chest, roll your shoulders back, and go, like you.
Oh,
the
it
force
feels
of the
so good.
diaphragm is undeniable right there.
Feels so good.
I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right, go ahead. Oingo boingo.
Oh yeah, no. That's just the household I grew up in. You know, I gotta thank my dad for that. He turned me on to a lot of good music.
like
That's the
my
reason why.
dad was listening to Roy Orbison.
Okay.
Is that how you say his name?
Roy
Orbison.
Orbison. Yeah, we didn't have that going on in my house.
No, well, because my dad's like a crooner. Like he likes to
Right.
sing Michael Bublé and
Yeah.
and who's the other crooner that he likes? Obviously Sammy. But my dad has always liked old school
Crooners. Frank
and so
Sinatra.
I will say that he played that all the time.
That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's totally, and that to
My
me,
grandma was into that. My grandma loved Frank Sinatra.
yeah, it was Frank. It was who's his favorite? Bing Crosby. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can remember.
Maybe
these.
Nat. No, Nat King Cole wasn't
Oh.
so much of a crooner, but
He wasn't a crooner, but we definitely had those albums.
he was that
Nat.
in that genre.
Dancing on the Ceiling. Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie's
Yeah.
dope.
Oh,
I had one of the first cassette tapes I had. My dad bought for me was the Black Sabbath self-titled first
Nice.
album. Yeah, we went and saw this movie called Heavy Metal, which is a cartoon stoner flick from his heyday from the 70s, and they re-released it in the 90s, and he took me to see it, and then afterwards bought me a Black Sabbath tape.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really that important in my house, even though, like I said, I can come up with who they liked. But for instance, I mean, since I can remember when I was in my, single digits, like 8, 9, 10, all of those, I don't
10
ever
is not
remember.
a single digit.
Well, I went to 10. Anyway,
Double
I was
digits.
just trying to give the idea of how old I was. I don't remember my parents ever buying a new album. Like, they just had what they had, and I think once they had my brother, and they just stopped buying stuff, and then by the time they got to me, they were just like, why would we spend money on this?
Yeah.
Like, we were not well off at all. So I think it
Even
was
though
like,
you lived in a mansion.
you keep saying that. I don't know what you're talking about. He thinks that I lived in a mansion because in LA or in California, it's the ranch house. But where I'm from, there's stairs. So we had multi-level. So the
Right.
fact that he feels like
Right.
I lived in
Never have I lived in a
4
multi-level house. Never once.
Just so you know, there are some real crap dick ass houses that have levels to it. Not that our house was crap ass. But that doesn't make a mansion. I mean, anyone, see, he doesn't get out much.
I just don't have any rich friends or hang out with rich people. So it's like, I didn't grow up in a rich neighborhood. I grew up in a little suburban, middle class, blue collar neighborhood where there weren't, double, triple stacked houses all over the place. They were just nice little
Just so you know, you literally nailed
3-bedroom,
my
1.5 bath.
That's literally what
See, told
I
you.
grew up in.
Told you.
Yeah, and I saw you force it out.
Pardon me, listeners. Hey, everybody. Don't forget to
boy.
go follow us, Acon Podcast on Instagram and A Couple of Nuts Talking Podcast on Facebook. And thank you so much to all our listeners. And
Please review us. Leave a little smidge about
don't forget
how
to
great
review
and
us
funny.
and leave us a little smidge.
I just said that.
And follow us and tell
Hit
your
the
friends.
5 stars.
Tell your friends
Share
and
it.
family.
Just share it too. Yeah, that's most important.
We love that. So, I think it's time for a little chuck it or fuck it.
Chuck it. Oh,
Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Review time. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it. Review time. Me like it.
Or don't like it.
Now, we were on the HBO Max app and we saw Justice League was on
Justice
there.
League. We hadn't seen it yet.
Never seen Justice League, and there was 2 options to pick from for Justice League. Apparently, there
This was our first conundrum, guys.
Yeah, there was one that came out in 2017, and then this new one that just came out, the director's cut, the Zack Snyder cut. And we're not like we're not buffs. We love action and fantasy and all that. We love all that stuff. We're not like Marvel people. We don't watch the Avengers films or the
No.
Iron Mans.
It's
or,
DC all the way.
Although we did watch Thor, and those were fun.
I think they're fun except for one actress, but so boring to me.
It's usually the actresses that kill it, Scarlett or Natalie Portman. It's like,
yeah. It's like,
shut up.
And actually, in the Justice League, I thought it was Amy Adams. I was like so bored.
Well, she was barely in it.
Maybe that's why.
So we landed on the 2017.
And I'm not hating on actresses, by the way. It just seems to be a running theme in these
There's something going
major
on
epic
there.
films that they decide the women they do put in.
There's something going on. There's a
are kinda
formula
made-
there. There's something going on there
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, of course.
I don't know what it is, but so we saw the 2017 and the 2021 version, and we saw 2021 with 4 hours long. So we're like, oh god, do we really want to do
And we
that?
talked about it though for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, which one do we want to do? And then we were like, well, what if it's terrible and we're like invested for 4
Right.
hours? So then we finally resolved it
Yeah.
by saying we'll do the 2-hour one.
We
We'll
landed
check
on
it
the
out.
2-hour
Yeah.
one, and we fired it up, and immediately we're like, okay.
This is good.
Okay. And then an hour into it, we're like, we should fucking watch the 4-hour version.
Yeah,
of this.
yeah. And then I got excited. I was like, oh my God, first of all, when we turned it off to discuss going to the 4-hour, I thought we watched 15 minutes. I was like,
Yeah, it went by really
20,
fast.
We're good.
We were an hour and 7 in.
And I was hula hooping while we were doing it.
You sure were.
So I definitely thought it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you were like, it's 6:55 or whatever. So halfway through the first one, we decided to go 4 hours balls deep.
Yeah, we went for the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah. And I am so glad we
Oh
did.
my God.
It's a completely different and 100% better movie. And the 2-hour one was great.
Yeah, 2-hour one was fun, but nothing compared to the 4-hour one. It was insane. And we're sitting there. The sun was up. The next thing I know, it's time for bed.
Yeah.
And, it didn't feel like a 4-hour movie.
Do you mean the sun was down?
The sun was up when we started it.
Oh.
And then the next thing I knew
we were tie-tie.
It was time for bed.
Yeah.
You get it? So when the sun's up, it's the day. Here, I'm going to help you out. When the sun's
just
up,
so you know, when you listen to this back, you'll hear the shit you said, and it was wrong, and I was helping you out.
The sun was up, so it was time for bed. Or it wasn't time for bed yet because we're up. And then we ate. Sun goes down. Next thing you know,
is stupid.
It's 11 o'clock. So then it's time for bed. So anyways.
Wow. You don't even know what to say. You were just being a dick.
I just cut you off.
What an asshole.
Okay, what?
I don't. Now you made me forget.
Well, Justice League. So we're watching it. We're loving it.
Damn it.
Every second of it. And then one of the things that stuck out to me wasn't the movie so much. I mean, obviously there's hunks in it. Obviously they're built to last.
Yeah.
And there was one point where Aquaman had his little suit on, and Bethany says, "Why does he have his suit on? Why doesn't he have his shirt off?" She literally said that to me.
I did. I yelled it out because I was like, first of all, Aquaman's not going in the water. He's out and about. And I was like, wouldn't a fish rather, would you, here's what I think. If a fish came out of water, you really want to put a jacket on it? I think it would be really uncomfortable. It can't.
Well, you're not a fish, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the fish can't live outside the water, and the last thing it would want is extra clothing on it. It would have to feel the dewiness in the air to get out the moisture it needs.
So the saving grace for her saying that, obviously, I can't take my eyes off his body either. Obviously. But the saving grace is that him and I have very similar builds. We have very similar physiques.
By the way, after I said, "Oh, why did?" and it was a serious disappointment.
Very serious.
It was so. I was like, "Why did they put his outfit on? What?" I got angry, and then John was like, "What did you just say?" And then I was like, "Baby, he reminds me so much of you." And then he was like, "Oh,
yeah."
oh.
I was like, I get it, and that makes sense to me why you just said that now, because we are very similar in our build, in our height. Everything about him is basically me, or should I say everything? No, I guess he's a little older than me. Everything about him is the same thing of me. I mean, everything, the arms, the chest, the torso, the cum gutters, oh man, what a fun movie though.
It was, down to the details in Zack Snyder's, especially, luckily we were able to watch an hour of the other one so we can compare all of it. But
no comparison, by the way.
No, Steppenwolf I thought looked so much cooler and better.
Even the music was, and I love Danny Elfman. He did the original one, but then this Junkie XL soundtrack, all electronic and industrial. It was just, oh man, if you haven't seen the 4-hour version of Justice League, fucking do yourself a favor and go watch it right now on the HBO Max app, or go ahead and buy yourself the Blu-ray version of it.
Yeah. Zack Snyder did just such a good job.
Holy macaroni.
Man, he threw me to the wind on that.
It got great reviews, but a lot of people that I know.
Yeah. Do you remember when I did that Clubhouse?
Yeah, people were complaining about it. We don't need to see Superman and Lois Lane loving each other for 3 minutes.
Yes, we do.
What are you talking about?
Because Superman, when he woke up, was going to be evil, and if it wasn't for Lois Lane's heart and love, it wouldn't have turned him back to the good side.
Oh my God!
So I understand.
I know.
As a director, why Zach was like, "No, we need to spend a minute here,
and
guys."
I understand
because
as a director that we need to understand. Mm-hmm. We need to feel the love.
The point is, if you wake up the beast who died. Right? So Superman.
Oh, wait a minute. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it?
Because even the 2-hour one, it literally in the opening
But I do want to
scene,
talk about the ending of it. So, I guess I'll say spoiler alert before we talk about the ending of it.
it came out in 2017.
Yeah, but this new stuff, that was all newly shot. The stuff
the
that we
very
watched,
ending
the
you're
very
talking.
ending,
Got you,
that was
got
all
you.
new stuff that
Well, we can't give any. It's not like a plot point for the next movie's given away. It's
they
just
gave it
a
away
teaser.
too. There's pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah,
on
there's
the internet.
teasers. I wouldn't worry about it because we're not doing anything visual either. But what the hell was I saying before you?
Hey, you were talking about Lois Lane and Superman.
Oh, so you take this basically hero who could save the day, right? Without Superman, they're not really going to be able to remove Steppenwolf. And now you wake him up and he's not his, he's dark. He's not his white light. He's dark. And he needs a moment. See, when you do this to me, you guys aren't watching.
I can't help
But
it, honey. This
Sean
is the cute. Oh my
is-
God, she's getting her. Look at that.
Well, she's trapped in a box.
You
And
should
now,
have seen.
Now you're distracting them
No,
from
she's
their
getting out to
fun.
play. The thing is that
Why don't we just pause it and watch him? All right, so we had to check out our cats
Oh
doing
my
a duel.
God.
But let me tell you what makes me mad about Sean. I was telling a story. I was giving my input, and as I'm doing it, he's making these faces. He's telling me to look somewhere. And
I wasn't telling you to
can't-
look. I was just
yes,
looking.
you were with your eyes.
No, I wasn't.
your eyes.
No, I was looking
And your
at them.
faces.
That's not true. I was
You
just
would
looking
look at
them.
me, make a face, and then look at them. What else am I supposed to do? Now I'm mid thought, and like you're doing it right now, and it makes me sound like I talk.
I can't take
like
my eyes off the cats, babe. I'm
this.
sorry.
That's how it makes me sound because I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time. Now, had you just been aware and present like I am when you're telling your stupid stories, this would be, see? Anyways, we needed the moment with Clark Kent and the Superman, Kal-El.
What do you mean, my
With-
stupid stories?
Hey, I can't help with what you heard.
Anyway, she's still going on about.
That's
for the
because
past 8 minutes
you don't
now on
let me
Superman and
get
Lois Lane.
anything
It's as simple
out.
as this. It's a killer fucking film, and
It
those
is.
scenes were necessary.
Yes.
The only thing that I guess was kind of weird, and I'm kind of losing respect for this actor in a sense that I like him in some stuff, but now I'm seeing him in stuff, and it's just kind of, man, Jared Leto is the Joker in the end.
Oh,
It was just kind
man.
of like, what the? This is not.
First of all,
Okay.
he's not the character. He's not good.
This is not okay.
And I liked Jared. We just watched something that we liked him in.
Little Things, yeah.
Little
it was,
Things was
he was
okay.
He was okay.
He was
in that.
okay.
It was okay. It was
I thought it
whack,
could have
yeah.
had more dimension and it didn't. But I was just really lackluster. Like I thought, wow, you have this. First of all, you're going off of. I was gonna say River Phoenix. You're going off of
Heath
Heath
Ledger.
Ledger's amazing.
Well, actually,
performance.
Joaquin is the last Joker,
Well, I didn't get there yet.
but Heath.
But in an ensemble, we're going. The last we see is Heath Ledger in this ensemble, and I mean Justice League is a major ensemble. You're yes. By the way, Joker with Joaquin was fantastic and different. It was a different tone than these movies, and
It
a different
was brilliant.
feel. It was brilliant, and it was based on his original story, which is great. But with the other Jared Leto's Joker, he isn't, in my opinion, getting the essence of Joker. I didn't see any Joker. I saw here's Jared thinking he's gonna put this psychotic thing on it, but the Joker isn't psychotic.
Right.
He is.
We haven't seen the Suicide Squad yet. We need to watch.
We need to watch
as
that.
well.
Yeah, he's a mastermind of fuckage, of
Yeah.
mind fuckery, and he's always smiling.
Yeah.
Even when he's saying the most sinister, amazing things, and Jared lost that little touch in that. I don't really like the look on him.
It
He
was
looks
kinda weird.
hungry. He looks really tiny and skinny.
He is really tiny and skinny.
And the makeup just
You see
fully
him in
accentuated that.
In Suicide Squad, he had a grill and shit like that.
Yeah,
That
and now
was
it's
weird.
totally different. But
But there's a new one of those coming out. I think they're rebooting it already, even though it just came out.
well, I think it didn't do well, right?
it
Is
got
that
a lot of bad
the one?
reviews.
Yeah.
People weren't too happy.
Who
with
directed
it.
that?
The original one was David Ayer. I think the guy that did Training Day.
Okay, interesting.
And
Training Day was great.
but the new one's with James Gunn. But I was going to touch on something else on the Justice League. Oh yeah, so DC movie universe fucking blows Marvel out of the water. Out of the water.
Agreed.
Marvel movies,
I feel like they're bubblegum.
If you're a fan of the Marvel movies, whatever. DC completely annihilates it. I feel like Marvel, you like a lot of soy in your drinks.
Yeah.
And then I think DC, you like
you put Band-Aids on your cuts.
Right. And then DC, you want some steak, you want some lobster.
And you super glue those fucking wounds.
And you super glue your wounds. If you're a DC, if you're a DCer like ourselves.
Yeah.
And again, if you're a Marvel watcher,
no offense. Like,
no offense to you.
I get it. You also don't like horror movies.
It's time to grow a pair, huh, kids? It's Disney shit. Disney owns it.
Yeah.
Come on now, everybody.
Those tight-ass outfits and shit.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah, I was going to say that, too.
Those bright-ass colors.
Because there's another Batman movie coming out with Robert Pattinson. And here's the thing. You know, a little throwback to what we were talking about earlier about songs that I didn't really like when I was younger. That goes for some actors too. Rob Pattinson, I was not like crazy about, but his resume continues to grow and he's amazing. I'm so stoked that he's going to be the Batman.
He is one. He reminds me like he's going to be like a Joaquin, like a, you know, he's going to, and we're going to find a part for him. That's just
he's letting loose.
Yeah.
And he's made
he's not afraid to be ugly.
Yeah.
Like Jared Leto thinks he doesn't want, he thinks he has that freedom,
right?
But you can smell it a mile away.
Yeah.
Where Robert is just balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. I love his.
And that's what happened.
And I've never seen a Twilight, by the way.
Keep interrupting me. That's what happened.
How's it feel?
That's what happened with Heath Ledger. I remember when I first read that Heath was going to be the Joker, whenever that one came out, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I was excited.
Because I wasn't. I didn't.
Well, I liked his face.
I wasn't too into his resume at the time either. You know, I was just like, Heath Ledger, 10 Things I Hate About You guy, First Night guy, like little heartthrob. But he had done some, like Monsters Ball and stuff, other ones that I wasn't aware of at the time. And, you know, then that movie came out. And again, another one that died, and I got more interested in their resume after they died, which I guess happens a lot.
Well, no, I would say you got more interested in his resume because he left on a fucking epic note.
He was at the peak of his career.
I mean, you want to talk about performance, like, and you know what? The last Joker that I remember that left, which is actually what I thought you were going to talk about, and you didn't, because of soundtracks. Was the Michael Keaton Batman with
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson as the Joker, who I thought at the time, oh my god, that movie, that entire, I think it's one of the top.
I saw that movie in New York
Dark
City.
Knight.
We were in New York visiting family, and it had come out. I think that was 88, 89. And
it would all that Prince soundtrack. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, we had that on CD in our house, and I saw that in New York City, I remember. I had this pair of Batman shorts. They were neon green, and they had little bats all over them. I never took those shorts off. And my brother had a neon pink pair with bats all over them, and we never took those shorts off.
Okay, that's gross.
Batman shorts.
Did you have sores on your fucking thighs?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Come on.
Yeah, well.
Probably. But yeah, agreed. Jack Nicholson, you know, just DC in general is more gritty and badass, and they got the balls to make rated R movies.
I was going to say, how dope that it was rated R. That makes us so happy.
Deadpool's Marvel, isn't he?
If that's the case, then I do like Deadpool.
You know, I'm not. I like him too. I'm not as crazy as everybody is about him. It's.
Oh no, but the last one was great. I didn't.
It was fun.
Wasn't too.
It wasn't like jaw dropping. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is bad. Like you're watching fucking Justice League when Batman's fighting through all those little bug demons, and you know all the other Justice League, Wonder Woman, they all come up beside him, the Cyborg guy and the Flash guy, and they're slow motion running by the Batmobile. I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's how that movie made me feel. Justice League made me feel like this is fucking badass. It could be forever, and I would watch it forever.
That's what he kept saying. Every time we thought it was going to end and it didn't, we weren't like, oh my God, there's more. We were like, oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Yeah, Deadpool is Marvel, but I think Deadpool, I like it because I thought out of all the Marvels, it was the best Marvel.
It's the best Marvel movie.
And so for whatever reason, it made it kind of peak out for me where I was like, oh, okay, Deadpool. I'll give you Deadpool. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. But I think if we put, Deadpool matched with any DC, any of them.
He should just go into the DC universe. There's this other DC character. His name is Lobo. If they ever do anything with Lobo.
Yes.
Oh, man. He's basically like a Deadpool.
Yeah.
But a big demon guy.
And the guy that they brought in, who did we think was dead? We're like, is that Deadpool in there?
Oh, the guy at the end from the Magic Mike movies.
Because the way he looked from the back with his swords in his on his back. But we were also just noticing the similarities of the Justice League where Steppenwolf has to get all the boxes and then he's going to kill all the people off. It was basically the same thing, or I would say the Marvel ones, the Avengers, are the same thing as the Justice League. Of course, yeah.
Because Justice League is better. So what would you rate Justice League on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, we're rating the 4-hour, right?
The 4-hour Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
I would say my concept of watching a 4-hour movie is, I can't even tell you how that would never happen. Like,
oh, I know you were like
this day.
You were like, I don't know. Like we watched it, and I was like, it might be in black and white because the poster was black and white, and I figured Zack Snyder's kind of artsy like that. Maybe he did it in the black and white version, but no way would he do that.
Thank God.
But you were like, oh no, if it's black and white, we're not watching that.
Yeah, especially for 4 hours.
Right.
Right, correct. So my idea of watching a 4-hour movie is I can't sit still. There's no way something's going to keep my attention that long. And the fact that not only did I sit there, I could have, like we said, watched more. And
actually had to rewind it at times when you left the room. Because you left during some really great scenes, so we had to like rewind it.
Yeah. I had to like take a nice... I had to drop the groceries off. Yeah.
Groceries being poopy in the toilet.
I had a poopy in the toilet. I had to leave a gift for the sewer.
You're like, oh my God, I got a poopy. You got up and ran out of the room and you made a stink. You're like, oh my God, there's so much
And then all
poop.
I hear, by the way, whenever this happens, if one of us have to leave the room, when I leave the room, Sean goes, oh.
Yeah, I'm in the other room.
Oh my God.
Well, not only because and
it was actually true this time.
It was so true because it's when the Batmobile.
Isn't.
I'm like, oh my God. No way.
Oh, babe, you got to see this.
Baby.
It's like, I can't see it.
You got a boogie hanging out of your right nostril.
I felt something.
Oh, I should have took a picture of that.
No.
1 to 10, what do you rate just Zack Snyder's Justice League 4 hours?
I'm trying to set it up. So I have to give it a 9.5.
Nice, babe.
It's my favorite.
Wow, a 9. Actually, you can do 9 points up to 9.9. So you're saying 9.5?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's really... The only thing that would bring it down was the Jared Leto thing to me.
I couldn't agree more. I, too, give it a 9. I was going to give it a 9, and then I realized we can do the points.
Yeah, it's our system, babe.
I'll give it a 9.7.
Oh, so you're just giving Jared 0.3. That's fine.
Jared Leto ruined it for me.
Yeah.
But didn't ruin anything. I'd probably watch it again in a few years.
Honey, you gave it a 9.7. People know that he didn't ruin anything.
Yeah,
but that's
the point
where the
3
10
is Jared Leto, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I gave it 0.5 just because I know the next movie will make me angry because he's in it, obviously. And I do have a feeling that maybe this is already out, but I don't really read stuff about movies and stuff. Maybe this is already out, but I have a feeling like the good guys and the bad guys are going to have to come together because of some...
We'll be sure to chuck or fuck that. So, I mean, ultimately, I would fuck the shit out of Justice League.
I would take the condom off, and I would raw dog, even if it had a red bump on it. I would be like, stick it in.
This is how much you love Aquaman. So, all right, that was chuck it or fuck it, everybody.
Don't underestimate Superman's body.
Chuck it or fuck it. Chuck it or fuck it.
Babe, I just checked my email.
Yeah.
We get our new rug today.
Hey-oh.
Hi-oh.
We
Comfy
get in a
feet.
new-
Comfy feet.
A whole new world.
A whole new rug.
Magic carpet ride.
It's
with
me. Is that what they
me.
say? Is that the real word?
He talks about a magic carpet.
Oh my God, that fits. I was thinking, come on with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride. Well, you don't know what you can find. Why don't you come with me, little boy, on a magic carpet ride? Why don't you come with me, Aquaman, on my carpet ride? Give me some. Hands up.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Just obsessed with
Oh,
Aquaman.
Jason Mimosa.
Hey, while we've been doing this podcast, while we do all these podcasts, my fucking phone Citizen app is just going off like crazy.
So we set off crimes?
There's just a ton of women with knives apparently in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
Brandishing
Sherman Oaks,
knives.
Studio City, and Encino,
Skid Oaks.
whatever's going on.
Oh my God.
Ladies that are fed up.
Dude, we had a guy rob the Guitar Center with a machete yesterday.
Another knife.
What is going on?
I don't think we have a gun problem. I think we have a knife problem.
We have a knife problem.
out here.
A lot of knivings happening in this neighborhood.
I don't know what people are talking about. Like wielding. Oh, what was the other guy? Yeah, samurai sword.
Swords and knives.
Samurai sword. I can't
Samurai
say it.
sword.
Samurai sword.
Sword.
We had
Samurai sword.
We had several different ones of those. So, and I don't know if it was the same sword that some other people kept finding, or if there were that many samurai swords out here.
I don't know if you remember, but we were at this Mexican restaurant up on Cahuenga, right at Barham and Barham. No, it wasn't Cahuenga. It was Barham and Highland, maybe. I don't know. Something, but a homeless guy walked by. No. I forgot the name of it, but a homeless guy walked.
Excuse me.
See,
it was the.
I told you. No,
it was
it's
the
exactly
vitamins
what
that
I
taste
said,
like
and you
garlic.
said, "Oh, you see, you can't do the burps like that."
I did it on purpose so people would hear that we take vitamins.
But there was a homeless guy that walked by. We were sitting on the little stools with the little bar seats, but looking out the window at the street, and a homeless guy walked by with and I saw him with a samurai sword. I was like, babe, that motherfucker has a samurai sword.
Yeah.
He was talking to himself, doing all this crazy shit.
We stayed in that restaurant.
Who's giving these people samurai swords?
Yeah, how are they affording this? Do they sell samurai swords? I can't even say it.
You can't say samurai.
Samurai
Just
swords?
say it slowly.
At pawn shops?
Samurai swords. Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that's where they're getting them.
I mean, but how can a homeless person afford a samurai sword? That's not like they're cheap.
I think they're bum rushing a guy going in because his wife was like, you got to sell the samurai sword. And then the bums are just waiting outside. Is it too PC? I can't say bums anymore. You give me a look.
They're bums. They're homeless people.
I think they bum rush the husbands that the wives made them go sell. What the hell is? No, that's someone just honking a horn, guys.
But
we have ADD, so just get used to our podcast of us.
They know by now.
Yeah. Isn't that sweet? Like they're kind of getting to know us.
Yeah, they are getting to know us.
Oh my God. I wonder if like at some point everyone's going to be listening and we'll be walking down the street and they'll just be like, hey, are you guys a couple of nuts?
Right.
I didn't know what your face looks like because you have cartoon logo, but I heard your voice and I knew it was you.
Right?
Wouldn't that be dope?
That'd be so cool. I was thinking actually about it and I was like, I doubt that maybe somebody is that I went to high school with or something like that. And they were thinking, I wonder whatever happened to that guy. And now we have this podcast, and in their mind, they had this glamorous thoughts like, oh man, he's probably traveling the world. And then, he's doing all this great stuff with his life. And now you're hearing this podcast and I'm pooping in showers and
You're being a regular old human.
I'm putting my hands in the toilet, breaking my heroin opiate poops in half to go down the drain. So just shattered those dreams for all my, because I'm sure there's so many people from my past that are listening, high school, people that were in love with me.
Wow.
And, here it is. Now you're getting me.
Were you ever, after high school, did you ever still think about somebody from high school?
What do you mean?
Like, for instance,
just like
my mom's husband.
In a random thought or like
No,
someone I
like
had a crush on?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
You still think about them?
No, not to this day, but after I got out of high school, there was
Where would you say the cap was? Like what? How many years after high school?
Oh, it was probably a few years afterwards.
You just stopped thinking about everyone.
Not
That's
stop
it.
thinking about them per se, like because high school, because you have Facebook and they pop up. You're like, oh yeah, this person. But I remember there was this nerdy girl that I always kind of talked with, and I was always kind of flirting with, but never really fully went and like, hey, you want to go out sometime? But a few years afterwards, I was always like, I wonder what happened to that nerdy girl. And that was it.
Yeah.
And then those thoughts stopped probably like when I was like 23 or 24.
Yeah, I did not have a wonderful time in high school. I was miserable. I never thought of anybody.
Yeah.
When I left. Like, there was no guy. I never dated anybody in high school, in my high school. There was no one that I was into. I also, thought I was gay.
Right.
And then I was doing this facade for
Did you date any
the high
girls?
school. On the side, we weren't dating.
In high school or out of high school?
Both.
You fooled around with girls.
Yeah, I fooled around with girls since I was in 4th grade. Yeah. 4th grade was,
Yeah.
it could have even been 3rd. I'm not sure.
I think I was humping some of my buds in those grades
Yeah.
too. I think I was.
And, that's all I did. And I'm sure it helped perpetuate the narrative in my family of thinking I was gay.
Yeah.
I was just a major tomboy, clearly. But I loved my family and listened to them and thought I was.
Of course.
And I'm trying to think if I only kissed one boy, and I felt like I had to because I was with my
tongue?
best friend.
French kiss? Scamming, as we
Do you
called
know
it?
what's crazy? Sean, I thought you said, was it with Tom? Because his name was Tom.
No.
And I lost my I was like, oh my God, Sean.
How did I know?
Yeah, and he was, I was the captain of the cheerleading squad.
Oh.
But I was a goth, weird.
Oh, you don't need to explain
Yeah.
yourself, honey.
And
We all know who you are.
Yeah. I was dark and sad. And he was something on the football team. I think he was quarterback, or was that Jim? I don't remember. And my best friend at the time was with his best friend, who was also on the football team, messing around upstairs. And it was just he and I on the sofa. And I just felt like I had to. Like,
Yeah.
I just felt like, not that I felt pressured by him at all. I was just like, might as well try it out.
This is your very first kiss?
Very first kiss from a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was awful. I'm sure he's improved, so I'm not like he's listening or anything.
Well, yeah, at that age, kids are just
oh my
shoving
God.
tongues and
Well, what's
stiff lip
interesting,
kisses.
and this guy probably has no idea, is it further reiterated that I thought I was gay.
Right.
Because I was like, I am not into this at all.
Yeah.
I feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it was really like he didn't know what he was doing. So, and we were just making out, like fully clothed, just making out. And I was like, I need to run away from this. And then my friend and his best friend who were messing around were done so fast.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Like, as a kid, because I had never had sex yet, I didn't realize, like, I had no time concept of how long it takes.
Yeah.
All I know is, like, it was done quite quickly, and I was just so grateful. I was just like, oh my God, and then bye guys, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Oh, it's so weird. All those things from our childhood.
Yeah.
I don't remember my very first kiss. I got started young. There was this girl in elementary school that we used to hump and kiss, but same tight-lipped kisses. And I remember
You still do that.
she would come over and no, I don't.
I'm kidding.
I have fucking juicy, juicy,
You do. You have
kisses.
sometimes he takes whatever he just drank or ate, and he wants to plant one on me. And his beard is also like
Yeah.
the fishing net of the century.
I give you all those juicy Lucy's. But yeah, we kissed, I guess. She was probably it. And I remember her taking her shirt off because I had a pool, and like I saw her shirt, but she was built like a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But I was like, and then we humped, and then we'd jump in the pool, and then hump a little more, and kiss, and then hump, and just didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Just doing weird ass shit. But I think that was like my first thing like that.
Yeah.
And that was in elementary school. That was around when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze came out. So whatever year that was. And I remember that because her mom worked like...
Wait, which one?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. I remember that because I was hanging out with this girl a lot at the time. And I went to a premiere of that, like a party at the studios, because her mom worked at the studios. And Vanilla Ice was on the soundtrack, so he was there, and he did his ninja rap. He did his song there, and I was just like, oh my god, Vanilla Ice is right there. Corey Feldman, because Corey Feldman played
1991.
Corey Feldman played one of the Ninja Turtles.
Oh shit!
Or the voice of or Corey Feldman. No, Feldman. Yeah, he did that. So I was 10 years old when we started getting our hump on and stuff like that. That was just a little rant that I went on with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Clearly.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
That's a good note to end on, I think, right?
So. I think if you're going to go out on a turtle.
Ninja rap. You know that song by Vanilla Ice? Probably not.
No.
Oh, thank you all so much for listening to us.
You guys are our babies.
You're our best friends, and you don't even know it.
We spray you like our plants because it's love. Like, psst, psst.
There you go. Really get those pops in there, baby. Really pop into that microphone. That's good.
That is real good.
Remember to follow us, ACON Podcast on Instagram. Couple of Nuts Talking Podcast on Facebook. Follow. You already, if you're listening to this, you already do all that shit.
Yeah.
Really?
No, you don't. No, let's not feed their ego.
That's true.
We are not getting star ratings.
Yeah, that's true.
No
We do need more ratings on.
No one's
on
commenting and no one's sharing.
Maybe the majority of people are listening on Spotify.
Well, just sign up really quick. Give us a review.
You can.
And then,
Apple Podcasts is free.
Yeah.
Just go on there and give us a
review.
rating. Please, a review. We want
and then shoot this to somebody. After you watch, hit the arrow and just send it off to somebody who has the same sense of humor as you.
Share it. We really want to get Yerba Mate to sponsor us. So the more reviews and likes we get.
It's my favorite drink. It's my favorite drink.
Yerba Mate.
It's my favorite drink.
You see, we're doing this again. We're giving them free advertisements. Advertisements.
I take it back.
Anyway, so
we love you guys.
Until
Thanks
next
for
time,
the listens.
Stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kimpses.
Bethany and Sean.
And Sean.
We are a couple.